All right, let's dive in. We're talking about a country you probably think you know inside and out. But it's going through this quiet, yet incredibly powerful reinvention. This isn't a story about Italy's past. Nope. This is about its modern renaissance.
So, when you picture Italy, what's the first thing that pops into your head? The Colosseum, right? Maybe a big plate of pasta? Or a gondola in Venice? And yeah, of course. But beyond those timeless cliches, something really profound is happening. So the real question we need to ask is, what does Italy actually look like today?
And that transformation, well, it starts from the ground up. We're going to look at how Italy is basically rebooting its entire system. We're talking everything from the digital ID in your pocket to the people needed to build its future. And the scale of this change is just massive. Think about it. Italy is replacing millions of old school paper IDs and this clunky, fragmented login system they had called SPID. What's taking its place? The Electronic Identity Card, or CIE. This is a single, secure card with a chip that brings everything together, your driver's license, your health card, you name it, into one central IT wallet right on your phone. Well, this isn't just about making things easier. This is about some serious, layered security. The new system has 3 levels. Level 1 is, your standard password. Level 2 adds that one-time code you're probably used to getting on your phone. But Level 3, that's the real game changer. It requires you to physically tap your ID card on your phone. We're talking top-tier, government-backed security for your most important stuff.
But here's the thing. A digital system is only as good as the people who run it. And that brings us to the human side of this reboot. And wow, it's a huge challenge. Italy needs to find 3.7 million skilled workers by 2029. That's a massive number.
And we're not just talking about any jobs. The biggest need is in STEM, where there's a serious shortage of graduates every single year. And get this, almost half of all the new jobs will require a technical diploma. That shows you there's a huge demand for hands-on vocational skills. So Italy isn't just creating new tools, it's in a race against time to train the people who are going to build the future with them.
So where is all this new talent going to work? Well, some of them are headed to labs that are doing things that, well, they defy all expectations. They're even challenging our ideas about how life itself got started.
Over a century ago, Charles Darwin threw out this idea that maybe, just maybe, life began in a warm little puddle on a young Earth. It was a brilliant theory, but that's all it was, a theory. Until now. Because on this tiny volcanic island called Pantelleria, scientists have found that exact scenario playing out in real time. In a hot, mineral-rich volcanic lake, the basic building blocks of life, things like RNA, are literally forming all by themselves. It's prebiotic chemistry happening right before our eyes, in nature. It's an incredible window into how life might have kicked off here on Earth, and maybe, just maybe, even on Mars. Okay, here's a fun one for you. If you wanted to get the absolute most power out of a solar panel, where would you put it? On a sun-drenched roof? Out in the middle of the desert? The answer, and I know this sounds completely wrong, is underwater. Seriously, and it's all thanks to a breakthrough from an Italian research team. Stick with me on this. Okay, here's how it works. This team developed these special crystals that are perfectly tuned to absorb the blue-green light that filters down through the ocean. Plus, the seawater itself acts as a natural coolant, which stops the panels from overheating and makes them even more efficient. The goal right now isn't to power a city, but to create a self-powering underwater Internet of Things. Sensors, cameras, monitors that could just run forever without a battery change. It's brilliant. Now, this kind of forward thinking isn't just stuck in a lab. It's actually reshaping the classic Italian experience, taking old traditions and completely reimagining them for today. Let's talk about driving in the city. Forget about squeezing a normal car through those ancient, narrow streets. The new kings of the road are electric microcars. I mean, just look at these numbers from the first half of 2025. Sales of electric models have totally exploded, while the gas-powered ones have just tanked. So, who's driving these things? Pretty much everyone. For a 14-year-old, it's their first shot at freedom. For people living in the city, it's the perfect answer to the nightmare of parking. And for businesses, it's a super cheap, green way to make deliveries. It's a totally modern solution to an age-old problem, and it's being led by a reimagined classic, the Fiat Topolino. And that same spirit of reinvention is happening with another Italian classic, tourism. It turns out the country's famous welcome mat is getting a whole lot wider. This table really says it all. In Sardinia, the luxury scene that used to be all about Russian visitors now has this Bollywood glamour, with tons of wealthy Indian tourists. Up in the Dolomites, it's not just German hikers anymore. Travelers from the Middle East are coming to escape the summer heat. And down in Puglia, you've got Americans looking for that authentic experience in old farmhouses. Every region is adapting to a totally new kind of global tourist. But this isn't just about what's happening inside Italy. The country is exporting its culture in brand new ways, and it's feeding this massive global appetite for all things Italian, from food to film. Okay, let's start with the most famous export of all, the food. In 2024, the global Italian food service industry was worth an absolutely staggering 251 billion euros. To put that in perspective, that's almost one-fifth of all the money made by full-service restaurants on the entire planet. So who's eating all this Italian food? Well, the US and China make up a whopping 65% of that market. But the industry itself is changing too. There's a huge shift toward these scalable, quick-service restaurants that appeal to a younger crowd that wants that classic flavor but with modern speed and convenience. And it's not just food. Italy is becoming a true global superpower in film and TV. Because of some really smart tax credits, international investment has just skyrocketed. Since 2016, these incentives have pulled in over 1.5 billion euros for movies and another 1.1 billion for TV and web shows. And you can really see the impact. In 2024 alone, 400 feature films were finished, with over 1.8 billion euros invested across film and TV. We're even seeing more female directors getting their shot, which is fantastic. And a whole new creative industry is blowing up thanks to tax credits for video games. It's a full-on creative boom. So what is modern Italy? It's a country that's proving you don't have to pick between your history and your future. It's embracing this radical transformation while still holding on to its incredible cultural soul. And I think this new Italy leaves us with one final thought: tradition or transformation? The answer seems pretty clear. Why not have both?